Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I want to talk about the old rich Greenfield price target for AMC, which could actually be indicative of illegal market manipulation. So stay tuned and let's make some money. Now you also may have noticed that I've finally changed the hoodie that I was wearing. Before I was wearing my To The Moon hoodie, whereas now I'm wearing my Space Ape hoodie. Just a quick reminder, if you do want to pick up a Space Ape hoodie, or a To The Moon hoodie, or any of the other pieces of clothing that I've got in my store, it is linked down in the description below. And now I want to dive straight in with the key information. So, Rich Greenfield explains his 1 cent AMC Entertainment price target. Now I'm going to quickly go through this article and then explain how it could be indicative of illegal market manipulation. Now you might remember this article from back in May, where Rich Greenfield said that the recent move in AMC Entertainment had nothing to do with a short squeeze. Coincidentally, this article came out just before the giant run to $72. Rich Greenfield said if hedge funds wanted to get out of their entire position, if they were short, they could do it within minutes, he said, adding that the AMC Entertainment price action does not point to big institutions or hedge funds being squeezed. Although funnily enough, this has been going on for months now and hedgies have still not covered. The AMC Entertainment stock has actually gone up by about 80% over the last month, and therefore even though he reckons hedgies could get out within minutes, it's taken them months and they still can't get out. As I've explained many times on this channel before, if hedgies covered now, they'd be bankrupt. Most hedgies have been shorting AMC since around $4 or maybe even $2 or maybe some around $8, and therefore most of them are massively underwater. Yes, we did see some hedgies that were shorting down from say $50 or $60 all the way down to the early 30s, but a lot of these hedgies also didn't cover their positions and are still shorting even though AMC is up 80% on the month. Rich Greenfield said that fair value is based on future cash flow. He said that AMC Entertainment can't generate cash flow and therefore he set a 1 cent price target on the AMC stock and believed that the company was heading for bankruptcy. Now you may also remember this article that I talked about yesterday about Cellar Boxing. Cellar Boxing is a form of securities fraud and a form of naked short selling. It's where hedge funds try and get stocks all the way down to a $0.0001 price, and therefore a stock will have a $0 bid price and a $0.0001 ask price. This effectively makes it impossible for a stock to break out of that cellar. Now, it's usually stocks that trade for under a singular dollar because these stocks are listed on the OTC markets and not on the open exchanges. Now I find it very interesting that Rich Greenfield had set a 1 cent price target. That sounds very much like Rich Greenfield was saying that AMC is going to be cellar boxed. Clearly back in late 2020 or maybe even early 2021, the hedgies were trying to get AMC under a dollar so that they could continue naked shorting it all the way down to that cellar box. But that's when we, the apes, stepped in to protect it. It sounds very much like Rich Greenfield has just admitted to trying to cellar box AMC, which is probably not a good thing to admit to. Don't forget that Rich Greenfield is an analyst at Lightshed Partners and a general partner at Lightshed Ventures as well. Maybe his firm, Lightshed Partners, is massively short on AMC and is trying to illegally manipulate the stock. Now I do want to clarify that cellar boxing isn't necessarily something that's going on with AMC right now in September 2021, because obviously AMC has a price that is much higher than $1. But I do think that at some point in time, the hedgies were trying to get AMC under a dollar, under a cent, and to 0.0001 cents in order to cellar box it. Now I also wanted to quickly go back over the Citadel and Amazon relationship. There's a comment here on a post on Reddit that says imagine that Citadel heavily invested in Amazon. Amazon started Amazon Prime Movies and the hedge funds shorted AMC. Amazon also announced an entrance into the gaming market and hedge funds shorted GameStop. Amazon also wanted a toy business and the hedge funds shorted Toys R Us. Amazon also wanted an electronics business and therefore hedge funds shorted Radio Shack. Amazon is actually Citadel's 3rd or 5th largest investment, and therefore I personally think it's very clear that Citadel have a vested interest in Amazon succeeding. And that's why Citadel and many other hedge funds and market makers will short and aggressively naked short any company and any stock that Amazon is competing with, because they have that vested interest in Amazon succeeding. Because Amazon is typically one of the largest, if not the largest investment for many of these hedge funds. And all Mauler 1983 is wondering is, where is the government oversight on fair market and a free enterprise? How do these politicians have jobs? And therefore we should all learn to vote. Clearly the hedgies are saying that there is no illegal activity happening here and that you should all just move along and that there's nothing to see here. But fortunately we now know the truth. Now, something that is also very, very interesting is Citadel's #1 large investment. At the moment, Citadel's biggest reported holdings is SPY puts, which is put options on the S&P 500. Citadel do normally hedge against the crash, but they've actually recently been increasing their puts throughout the year, and therefore a crash must be imminent. At the moment, Citadel stand to profit massively from the S&P 500 crashing, as long as AMC doesn't squeeze and bankrupt them first. Maybe Citadel are trying to generate enough profit from their S&P 500 puts that they have enough actual cash to cover their AMC shorted shares without going bankrupt. Obviously, it will still cause the squeeze because they will still have to cover all of their short positions. Now, something that I did find absolutely hilarious was a hedge fund idiot that was spreading FUD in a car forum. Now, as you can see, there's a car forum here called AMC Universe, which relates to the AMC Universe car game. Now, somebody commented in this car forum saying, "I just got insider information that Monday at noon, AMC will be shorted to $3 and they will be forcing people to close their accounts for nothing." He said, "I highly suggest, as a fellow ape and human being, that you sell your positions immediately on Monday morning. Thank you for hearing my alert, my friends." Now, I've just checked my phone here and it looks like AMC is up 3% in the pre-market, and there is absolutely zero chance that AMC is going to be shorted down to $3 today. Clearly, this is a hedge fund manager or just somebody that's not very intelligent that's currently very, very short on AMC and is trying to spread fear, uncertainty and doubt to try and convince anyone to sell their shares. But guys, us apes are certainly not going to be selling. Now, I've seen a lot of comments on my videos asking me which stock I prefer between AMC and GameStop, or why I prefer AMC, or why I don't like GameStop, or the other way around, and whether I like GameStop and don't like AMC. I personally think that both AMC and GameStop are just as good as each other. I think that we should be working together and not against each other. I agree with this post saying that we don't want a war with GameStop. AMC and GameStop are brothers. This is not an apes against apes play. This is an apes against the corruption. Show your support for all apes. This is the way. And therefore AMC and GameStop act together and should be traded together, not traded against each other. I personally don't think anyone should be trying to convince other people to sell their shares in AMC or GameStop. Just hold whichever company you prefer or whichever stock you prefer, or maybe even hold both if you can afford it. If you can't, it doesn't matter, because even one share is better than 0 shares at the end of the day. Now finally, I just wanted to remind you all, or maybe explain, how the AMC price will shoot up so fast when these hedge funds get liquidated. When a hedge fund gets margin called and liquidated, not if, but when, the computer starts buying back shares at the cheapest available price, and it goes up until all of the shares are bought back. Now, when a hedge fund gets liquidated, their clearinghouse or market maker will start buying shares to cover their short positions at any available price. If it's a market maker that gets liquidated in the process, then the DTCC will also step in and perform the exact same task of buying shares at any available price to cover these over-leveraged shorts. The hedge funds and the market makers can't use the cash received to continue shorting AMC because they're liquidated and they don't have a choice in the matter. They literally don't have any control over their own account anymore. Now, I just wanted to show you a quick example of how exactly that works. This is the level 2 order book for just a random stock. As you can see, there's a lot of sell orders around $59 and maybe some at $60 further down. And there's a lot of buy orders obviously at $59, $58, $57 and so on as well. So therefore, when a hedge fund gets liquidated, it's going to effectively buy these 100 shares here at $59.65, these 150 shares here at $59.66, 150 shares here at $59.67, and so on and so forth, buying up all of these shares until they run out of shares to buy or until the entire short position has been covered. As you can see, these increments are only in 100 shares or 150 share increments, and therefore if a hedge fund with say millions and millions of shares shorted gets liquidated, all of these shares are going to be bought and the price will go up significantly higher than it is at the moment. And that is how very quickly, when one large hedge fund gets liquidated, the AMC price is going to storm through 50, 60, 70, $100, $200, $300, $500 and continue going much, much higher as well. And this is also how you're going to get very significant gaps as well. Maybe there's going to be a lot of sell orders at $50, $60 and $70, but then there's probably going to be quite a gap until $100 and then quite a gap until $420 and then another gap until say $1,000 and large gaps so on until you go higher. And that's why when a large hedge fund gets liquidated, pretty much the entire AMC order book is going to be bought up all at once, and therefore the AMC price will gap up until it reaches the next area of resistance, which may not be until $1,000 or $4,200 or $10,000 and so on and so forth. And when we start getting up into those crazy digits as well, pretty much every single hedge fund or every single institution or every single person that is shorting AMC with leverage is going to get liquidated all at the same time. And that's going to mean that millions and millions and millions of shares are all going to be covered at exactly the same time, therefore clearing out the entire AMC order book until you get to the next point of resistance that may not be until $400,000 or $800,000. And so on as well. Now, hopefully that may have answered some of the questions that you had about the AMC short squeeze. Also, be sure to leave a comment down below, letting me know what you think about Rich Greenfield's possible admittance to illegal market manipulation. Now, also, if you want to pick yourself up a Space Ape hoodie or a Space Ape t-shirt, or even one of my To The Moon t-shirts, be sure to check out the link down in the description below to my clothing store. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out some of my others. Alternatively, subscribe to the channel and ding that notification bell, because that way you'll be alerted when I upload a new video. Cheers.